Trey, what's going on, man?
What up, Carlos?
Episode 3, even though we haven't dropped one yet on YouTube, just because we're going to drop 3 at a time. So I'm excited to keep this thing going and have some conversations about what's been going on. So I'm sure for you were football Sunday today?
Yeah, we wasn't pounding today, though.
No, you were. Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Well, I didn't mean to bring it up in that perspective, but the Dolphins did get a win, but half the population's mad about it. So we'll see how that goes.
It sounds about right. That's coaching in general.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Speaking of which, let's talk a little bit about this past weekend. So, as some people may or may not know, we were part of a showcase that was put together by John Sheeran, a good friend, good guy. He actually called me today asking me about just the mechanics of the showcase and if we enjoyed ourselves and got out of it what we needed to get out of it. And of course, I told him I felt like we did. How did you feel about the showcase, Trey?
Yeah, I think we got everything that we needed out of it. As far as, we had some really good moments. Then we had some moments that, of course, we got to keep working on, but that's the whole point of it.
That's right. That's right. I think the showcase it's a preseason showcase, so I think a lot of people, join that showcase just to work out some early preseason scrimmages. I think when it's like the NFL, what do they call it? Preseason camps and all that. You get tired of playing basketball against your own team and you want to go against other people. I think that's what it's designed for. And I think that for us, we needed it. We actually had 3 games that day. We played. The first game was against a school called Hickory Christian. Our second game was against Northern Guilford. Is that right, Trey?
Yes, sir.
And then the third one was Southern Guilford.
Yep.
Okay. And so, our team overall went 2-1. I would say that the best game being the Northern game, so we'll kind of focus on that one. I'll say the other 2 teams that we played seemed to be a little bit on the younger side, well coached and scrappy, but obviously I think the game of the day, in my opinion, in that whole gym was our contest against Northern. How do you think we played in that game overall?
I thought we played well. If I'm going to be honest, I think we exceeded my expectations. I just think that we have an older team. So, I think that they're through AAU and things like that, they played in some pretty big games, and I thought they rose to the level of the game, and they played pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting that you say that, right? Because you say we have an older team, and of course, that's factual. I don't think that's not a fact. But at the same time, this is our first year with this group. And so normally when you say, okay, you have X amount of seniors or you have older girls, the thought process is they've been there, done that, experienced these things. And so by then they're ready to win. I think winning is also, I think, a taught thing as well. You have to learn how to win. And sometimes to learn how to win, you have to get through some things. And with this being our first season, we're going to have to speed the process of teaching them how to win.
Agreed.
And so, yes, we have an older team, but because of the lack of time we've had with them, it kind of cost us in that game. I would say we had some great film, but I mean, I think you would say that with a little bit of time. And if we would have been able to address certain things, I think we win that game. And that's no knock on Northern; they're a good team. They got some great talent, but we're just the things that we have not had a chance to really work on with them and hammer in certain times cost us in that game, and that was kind of obvious, didn't you think?
Yeah, but that kind of play. That's kind of our thing. Where if we're going to lose, let's lose in a way that maybe we haven't put the time into yet. I think that within the first couple of weeks, lately, we've been focusing a lot more defensively, and I thought we played a really good game defensively.
Yeah, I did too. Again, we we probably could have won that game. I think that in post game, I told the girls I wasn't happy we lost, but kind of glad we lost because sometimes when you're a team and you do things that you shouldn't do, as a coach, the best leverage you have sometimes to teach is to say, hey, did it work out for you? And if the answer is no, then we teach and we learn and we get better. Sometimes when you
Agreed.
get away with a win after doing things you shouldn't do, the players may have a reason to think that we can continue to do things that we shouldn't do, and it's okay because we still win.
Yep.
So
I wholeheartedly agree.
I was gonna say I'm sure that you've been there and we've had that conversation before, but I think it's important sometimes to lose and to let the teacher be the or the game be the teacher as we say.
Yep.
So
Yep.
tell me a couple things on the positive side that you saw, and then a couple things on the negative side that you saw from that particular game.
Positive side, I think that we try to build our identity around defense, and we definitely our identity is starting to show itself to where somebody was to come watch us play, they're going to know that we aim to be a really good defensive team. What else? I think that I think that with Logan just joining us a few weeks ago, I think that she played really well. She has to get her leg back underneath her. She hasn't played basketball or meaningful basketball in over a year. But we had her guarding the best player, and she did really well, especially in the half court setting. Which guess it uh I guess a compliment to our team defense because we're very team oriented defensively. I mean, I like the girls' competitiveness, right? Where if things didn't go well, they would scratch and claw their way back into putting them in a position, putting themselves in a position to have success.
Yeah.
You know, um, we did something towards the end of the game that we kind of just threw at them. Something that we've put a little bit of time in at practice, but not fully getting into it. And they did it. It worked out, and I think that kind of shows that they want it. They want to go out there and they want to win. And like that, as you said, they have to learn how to win. So we have to learn how to take advantage once we do. But the fact that they did put themselves in a situation to win it, that says a lot about the girls.
Yep, I agree. I agree. And again, you're dealing with a larger high school. It's a big public school, and we're coaching homeschool basketball, and that not every homeschool organization tries to go and play the best teams they can play in the area, and I just feel it's important because we have a mandate to coach these players to the best of our ability and get what we can out of them. And we've said this before, if they want to go play college basketball, and that's what you've told me you want to do, we have to coach at a level where they can be successful no matter where they go. We're not looking to put players in college so they can say they are playing college. We want them to be effective and to understand things when they get to the college. So that's our desire,
Agreed. Agreed. One of my favorite quotes, especially when you're dealing with maybe a little bit lesser talent, or we are a homeschool group and we know the connotations that come with that. But one of my favorite quotes is "Don't."
Trey had some weird technical difficulty there, but basically what you were saying is that we don't want to coach these players for maybe who they are today or more about where they're trying to go with their game, and again, even if the goal isn't to keep playing after high school, we still want to make sure that that we're aiming high in terms of the quality of play. I will tell you, I was really excited about this. We talked about from the very beginning that we want to leave a lasting impression about like the quality of our team, not just on the court in terms of you guys play great, which we hope we aim to do that, but also our behavior in terms of the way we respected our opponent, the way we talked to the referees, the way I feel like we left an impression. I got multiple compliments from different officials on that. unwarranted. Just they came over and said something to our team, and I thought that was really kind of them. And it does show the girls that people are watching, and that it does matter how you behave.
Yes, you never know who's watching.
That's right. That's right. And I will say, I've gotten at least two messages from college coaches inquiring about a couple of our players, and one coach in particular that wants to come to our practice to just watch a couple of the kids play. So we'll have those conversations, and I think that's pretty. I think that's a compliment to not just the way you played, but the way you carry yourself in games, and especially when you lose. I think most coaches, watching a player win sometimes is easy because everything's going great. Watching you take a 2-point loss and how you handle that is huge, I think, in terms of a coach understanding your mindset and the kind of person you are. And I think that again, we handle that really, really well.
Agreed.
But
Funny enough, I think the players were more upset than we were. Of course, as coaches, we don't like losing, but we knew the positives that came out of it, and the girls were a little upset. I like that.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So Trey, tell us about the week coming up. I mean, what do we? I know we have a couple of games, and I know we're traveling. Tell me a little bit about the week coming up and what we want to get out of that.
We have our preseason nationals in West Virginia, so you know, watch a little bit of film. We know some weaknesses that we have to attack. We want to use Monday and Wednesday are only two practices of the week because we have a game Tuesday and then we're off to West Virginia Thursday. So I think we can take what we learned from this past weekend and the preseason jamboree, and we build on our strengths, and we keep working on our weaknesses.
So so I'm excited for the week to come. And again, the goal at the preseason nationals isn't necessarily to go and quote unquote win the title. And again, it's to continue to work on the things we have to refine to get better. And we have loftier goals. I don't know if I'll put them up here just yet, but we have some goals for the season. And again, because we just started with this group, Trey, I think we're going to have to be very specific about what we're looking for in each one of these games and events. And I start to get excited about when I see certain things happen on the court, and you start to see the pictures. It gets really, really exciting. And I think we're believe it or not, this early on, we're about to turn a corner. It's just the kids have to stay patient, and they have to listen, and they have to make sure that they play within the things that we're asking them to do. But I saw some glimpses of that starting to happen, which is exciting. Big time, big time. But and look, we lost by 2 points, and we also didn't have a player that scored 15 for us the game before. So we did have a starter that was out, and again, no excuses. But I think that she does make a significant difference. So that being said, no excuses. I would love to have a regular season opportunity with that school if they would allow us. Of course, they're more limited in their opportunities because of the limitation in games, and most of those games at public school are scheduled quite early. But we'll have some true tests, and we'll play some really good teams. And I just look forward to a season of being able to be super competitive. But again, just get a lot out of this season. I'm so excited. I agree. And this is probably one of our last sort of like episodes without a guest, and I'm excited to get people on our cast that'll come on and talk about whether it's existing players, former players, some college players, and again, I think some of the we're going to have some other people that are around the program to bounce questions off of and get their takes. And so I'm excited. We got so many topics that we want to discuss and bring up. And again, some of them will be quite interesting, and I'm sure people will, be interested in what we have to say about that stuff. But anyways, well, listen, have a good rest of your Sunday. We got practice tomorrow, game Tuesday, and then we're off to practice on Wednesday, and then off to West Virginia on Thursday. So it should be a fun week. All right, Trey. What do they say? Keep pounding? All right, brother. See you tomorrow.